Good day everyone and welcome to Teacher Trivia, and our trivia for today is about the first teacher in the Philippines. So the first teachers of the Filipinos were the volunteer American soldiers, and they were the first American teachers of the Filipinos. Part of their mission was to build classrooms in every places they were assigned. The American soldiers stopped teaching only when the group of teachers from the United States came to the Philippines in June 1901. And they came aboard the ship called Sheridan. In August 1901, 600 teachers called Thomasites arrived. Thomasites' name derived from the ship they traveled on, the U.S. Transport Thomas. Lastly, the original batch of Thomasites was composed of 365 males and 165 females who sailed from the United States on July 23, 1901. The United States government spent about $105,000 for the expedition. More American teachers followed the Thomasites in 1902, making a total of 1,074 stationed in the Philippines. However, on becoming a teacher, you should know and you should remember that teaching is a passion. Just like our teacher or our professor said before, if teaching is not your passion, you will just get tired of what you are doing because you don't love what you do and you're not passionate about what you are doing. We should make sure that teaching is our passion before we teach our students, and we should not teach just because we need salary. We should teach because we want our learners to learn from what we teach them. And that's all for the teacher trivia. Thank you.
Good day everyone! Our topic for today is all about on becoming a teacher. There are different types of subtopics in this lesson, and these are personal characteristics, personal qualities, professional growth timeline, and the last one is responsibilities of a teacher. We will talk first about the personal characteristics. It has 12 characteristics of an effective teacher. The first one is, a teacher should be prepared. As an educator, our goal is to provide the best quality of education to our students. And one of the things that you should do is to be ready and prepared at all times. Give time and effort in preparing our lesson plans and thoroughly study each topic. As a teacher, you should always have high energy and enthusiasm whenever you discuss a topic to the class. It catches students' attention. Avoid wasting instructional time and have an interactive class discussion. Preparedness and readiness will help you to attain a meaningful learning. The second one is, a teacher should be optimistic. As a teacher, you are a source of energy and learning. It is ideal if you will be optimistic. You should look on the brighter side of every situation. Communicate with your students about their progress. Through communicating, you can also give advice to them and adjust your teaching strategies. One of the roles of the teacher is to critique the work of their students, and feedbacking is very important. You should use positive words to your students. Praise and recognize students for their hard work in one project or any activities. Teach them to be kind and show kindness to others. The third one is, a teacher should hold high expectation. As a teacher, you should set standards to your students. It would be challenging for them if you hold a high expectation. You should consistently challenge your students to realize their potential. It will also boost their confidence to try new things. They will grow and develop their skills if we set high expectation to their work. They will also learn to explore and assess themselves on their own. is a teacher should be creative. One of the 21st century characteristics of a teacher is creativity. As a teacher, you should explore to see possibilities and opportunities that will help you to reach your goal. Utilize technology effectively in the classroom. There are various instructional tools that we can use in the class discussion, but we should study it before we use it in the class. Agree to participate in different class activities. These can help the students to enjoy the class discussion, but at the same time learn the topic. We should avoid dull moments in the class and make it more entertaining. We can use relevant trends and issues that is popular among youth. In that way, they will find the discussion more interesting and enjoying.
Hi, good day everyone. I am Suzette Artaico. We are done with the first 4 characteristics of teacher, and now we are down to the number 5, which is being fair. So the most effective teachers handle students and grading them fairly. They first allow all students with equal opportunities and privileges. So one of the characteristics of being an effective teacher is that when they make sure that all students are equal when it comes to education. All students are given equal opportunities to showcase their talents and what they've got as students. Second is teachers provide clear requirements. The teacher have to make sure that they give instruction to students, or they instruct students and make sure that they all understand it. Third is teachers should recognize that fair means giving every student an opportunity to succeed. So fair means you're not being biased to any of your students. You don't practice favoritism among your students, and you all help them to succeed with their academic and non-academic studies. Fourth is teachers should understand that not all students learn in the same way and at the same pace. As teacher, you should know the fact that students learn at their own pace. There are students who can easily understand the lesson, while there are some who still takes time to do so. And teacher has to be fair to all of them and give them chance to learn and help them as well. So the sixth characteristic of a teacher is to display personal touch. The most effective teachers is approachable and friendly. They first connect with students personally. Teachers should try to connect with the students and try to know them personally as an individual. Next is teachers are genuinely interested in who their students are as a people. Teachers should know their students with their strengths and weaknesses as a student and as an individual, because at some point it will affect their learning as a student. Next is teachers should visit the students' world. For instance, they sit with them in the cafeteria. They attend sporting events, plays, and other events outside normal school hours. So it means that teachers should learn how to deal with the students and join them in various activities to fully know them as an individual. The seventh characteristic of a teacher is to cultivate a sense of belonging. The most effective teachers have a way of making students feel welcome and comfortable in their classroom. They have a warm, welcoming attitude that helps students know they belong to the classroom. A student or a teacher should make students feel that they belong to the class, so they would feel at peace and comfortable as well. Next is to communicate how much they love teaching and prefer it to other occupations. A teacher should inspire his or her students of how noble teaching is and relate them to other occupations for them to know what they want to be in the future. The eighth characteristic of a teacher is to be compassionate. The most effective teachers are concerned about their students' personal problem and can relate to them. They first understand when their students are having difficulty and act accordingly. So earlier I mentioned that there are some students who can learn easily, while there are some students who still needs time to fully understand the lesson. And teachers should be more compassionate to them and guide them until they finally understand the lesson. Next is to remember the students are people with lives outside the classroom, just like the teachers. So just like teachers, students also face challenges, whether it's about family and personal issues, and teachers should be more compassionate to them and understand them as much as they can.
Good day, everyone. So now I will give you some teacher trivia. Did you know teachers do not become teachers because they are not smart enough to do anything else? Instead, they become teachers because they want to make a new difference in shaping young people's lives. So now, may I introduce to you our reporter, the most gorgeous in BSE 4, Miss Jane Selga.
Hello, I'm going to discuss the 4 remaining characteristics of an effective teacher. A teacher should have a sense of humor. Use humor to break ice in difficult situations. Telling jokes inside the classroom is a very common icebreaker or activity that attempts to ease awkwardness or uncomfy situations. So it's not uncommon for teachers to use humor inside the classroom. Second one is bring humor into everyday class. Teachers who use humor inside the class tends to improve students' engagement and student retention in learning. And also, it builds stronger teacher-student relationship. So third one is laugh with the class but never to the extent of using particular student. It is okay to joke around during the class to ease awkwardness or uncomfy situations, but never ever let your students' flaws be a laughing stock. Always remember that being a teacher, we need to be sensitive and careful to everything we will say. Everything we say may or may not affect students' confidence. Okay, so for the next one, a teacher should respect students. Respect students' privacy when returning test papers. Some students might be unhappy revealing scores to everyone in the class, and we should respect that. Sometimes kasi there is a competition within student to student or within themselves, and we know that they are fighting to get over with. Speak to students in private concerning grades or conduct. Speak to student in private. No one wants to be scolded in front of everyone kasi it can lead to bullying na din. And if you truly have a concern to a certain student, yun lang dapat yung kakausapin mo privately to avoid any worse situations. At dun din papasok yung third bullet, which is always avoid situations that unnecessarily embarrass students. So pointing out a student in front of the class may embarrass them. So moving on, we have a teacher should be forgiving. Start each day with clean slate. Understand that disruptive or antisocial behavior can quickly turn a teacher against a student, but that refusing to give up a difficult student can produce success. Teachers are human too. We can be mad, we can sometimes lose at the moment, but always remember to think multiple times before anything else. If the students admit their mistakes and wrongdoings, we should forgive them and explain them the situations so that they will learn on that mistakes. For the last one, teachers should admit his or her mistakes. Apologize to mistakenly accused students. Make adjustments when students point out errors and oversight. As I've said, teachers are human too. We can make mistakes. For example, we wrote a misspelled word on the board, and then your student pointed out and corrected that word. And as a teacher, we must be grateful that your student are willing to correct you if you do mistakes. So that's all for the 12 characteristics of an effective teacher. Thank you. Among the 12 characteristics of being an effective teacher, choose one characteristic that you want to apply when you become a teacher.
Good morning, everyone. Since my other group mates were already done discussing the personal characteristics, Jerillian and I were here to discuss the personal qualities on becoming a teacher. We have here 10 different personal qualities, and the first one is communication skills. Communication skills are on the top of the skills on what makes a good teacher. Effective communication is a personal asset to acquire in both professional and in an intimate environment. It is the root of successful and memorable relationships. In teaching, having strong communication skills as a teacher is an essential quality for building teacher-student rapport and creating a trusting environment for the students. Strong communication skills are essential for both objective of teaching itself. As a future teacher, having the ability to construct verbally, expressing verbal, writing, visual, and body language cues together to the capacity to invert ideas into students' understandable structure will deliver knowledge with superior result. Sabi nga, communication will work for those who work at it. Tsaka, ito kasing communication yung nagiging tularan natin between confusion and clarity. And for the second qualities, it's listening skills. Being a good teacher means having your students listen to you and make sure your students give the student they need by answering all their questions. The value of listening lies behind allowing you to better understand your students. Sabi nga ni Aristotle, those who know do and those who understand teach. The ability to understand your students is one of the keys to being a good teacher and helps you understand what works and what does not work in terms of teaching for a specific student and a student group as a whole. Each student is different and expresses themselves in their own unique way. By asking active questions and carefully listening to what the students have to say, a teacher can further improve their communication between themselves and their students. As strong listening skills, teachers are able to create a stronger, healthier, and a higher quality learning environment. And for the third qualities, friendly attitude. Having a friendly attitude is one of the essential qualities of a good teacher. Expressing a friendly attitude towards your students makes you more approachable. It is more likely to motivate the students to want to learn. By being perceived as more approachable, the student will feel comfortable to ask questions. This will in turn enhance student-teacher communication and create a most positive learning environment. The best teachers tend to be open, friendly, welcoming, and most importantly, secure in approaching. Something important that comes as a friendly attitude as a teacher is trust that can potentially be created within the classroom. Students need to feel comfortable in their learning space to perform the best of their abilities. By having a friendly attitude, you encourage the sense of comfort and trust that can easily take your teaching to the very next level. Most importantly, having a friendly attitude can really contribute to make you a memorable person. Sabi nga ni Maya Angelou, people will tend to forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget what you made them feel. For the fourth one, patience. Patience is a virtue. Isa to sa pinaka-common na kasabihan natin, di ba? So, patience is a virtue, and especially in the world of teaching. Being a teacher and handling multiple children at one time is not an easy task and requires a great deal of patience. Different students will display different levels of aptitude when it comes to learning. It is crucial to consider, as this will help the students not stay behind and will further the success of the teaching environment. Remember, you are a role model, and showing lack of patience will only reflect on the teacher in a negative way. Offering the student the teacher on personal shortcomings, another factor to note on the patient is that patient teacher is more likely to be more adaptable to the different teaching environment. So remember na, to lose patient is to lose the battle. And you, as a role model, need to have a patient in all things, but first to yourself.
Good day everyone, I hope you enjoy learning, and today on my part I will continue to discuss the personal qualities of a teacher. So, let's start. Number 5. Strong work ethic. Having a strong work ethic is an essential quality in our list of qualities of a good teacher. A good teacher never quits, and especially not on his or her students. Having a strong ethic will always reflect on your students and the delivery of their work. As a role model, having a strong work ethic will help your students develop a strong work ethic and are an especial crucial component in our list of qualities of a good teacher. With a good work ethic comes professionalism, responsibility, and preparation. To express a strong work ethic, you have to take responsibility for several things, including your students' possible misbehavior within classroom settings. Unfortunately, not all students will have the same attention span or the same level of discipline concerning their attitudes and behaviors. Teachers have to be patient and remember that this is an inevitable part of teaching. By having a strong work ethic, teachers can more effectively become aware of what works and do not work in their specific teaching environment pertaining to the students. If something does not seem to be working, teachers must try their best to find a solution that works for the objective of teaching itself. The recruiters observe subtle behaviors to determine whether a person is the right teacher job candidate and suitable for the job. The actions and expressions during the job interviews reveal the work ethic and attitude. Next is it is crucial to be punctual and attend both an interview and a virtual class on time. So this also means that teachers are expected to end the class when it ends and not earlier. Teachers are also required to have no absences. Number 6. Organizational skills. Teachers must be good organizers. So being an organized plays an essential role in being a good teacher and is a paramount quality of a good teacher. Without organizational skills, a teacher could really lose grasp of deadlines, expectations, and tasks. Next, a poor organization could potentially lead to educational waste and waste of time. So being an organized teacher means that a teacher knows exactly where his or her students stand and that they are ready to begin the class with lessons that are effective in enhancing student learning. This way, teachers can better inform students of what is expected of them. Number 7. Preparation. Preparation is a crucial characteristic of what makes an outstanding teacher. So preparation goes hand in hand with the organization. It is important for teachers to prepare for their classes beforehand by reviewing all of the class material that he or she will be presenting. Next is the majority of the online English teaching platforms and teaching jobs abroad listed on OET jobs already have the teaching plan and materials prepared for teachers. So that's all. I hope you learned something. Thank you.
Number 8. Discipline skills. To answer what makes a good teacher, one has to really take discipline into mind. A teacher who has a strong discipline skills will effectively promote positive behaviors within the classroom. Maintaining classroom discipline is vital for creating a positive learning environment, which supports learning. Teachers can do this by expressing and maintaining a list of classroom learning standards.
Discipline skills. To answer what makes a good teacher? One has to really take discipline into mind. As teacher who has strong discipline skills will effectively promote positive behaviors within the classroom. Teachers can do this by maintaining a list of classroom learning standards.
Number 9. Student-friendly teaching environment. Having a student-friendly teaching environment in your class is truly a must. As a teacher, you are your students' role model. Thus, you will want to set the best example possible. This means that teachers should not bring their personal issues and negative emotions to the classes. Going against the discuss, the classroom systems and settings also cause serious harm to the students' well-being, especially for younger children, both physical and psychologically. Teachers are expected to wear proper professional teaching attire or their uniform appropriate for teaching environments, especially for particular age groups or toward more conservative cultures. It is important to keep in mind that a teacher reflects the organization that he or she is working with. 10. Respectful attitude. Respect is everything in every field of work and most importantly in life. Teachers cannot threaten, mock, insult or tease children in any shape or form. Doing so is bullying. And it is disrespecting not only the student but yourself and the classroom. So, apart from respect concerning students and the teaching environment, it is so critical to show respect to the company you are working for by not speaking at the company's disposal. Famous saying claim that respect is something that is earned rather than given. If you are a respectful teacher, you will most likely be treated with respect from your company, co-workers, and most importantly, your students. It is essential to treat your students with the same respect you expected them to treat you with. Don't forget that after all, you really are a role model for your students. That's all. Thank you.
Let's talk about the 10 personal qualities of a good teacher must possess. A good teacher can make a world difference in students' life, impacting everything from their classroom learning to their long-term success. According to research from the Economic Policy Institute shows that good teachers are the single most important factor that contributes to students' achievement in the classroom, important than facilities, school resources, and even school leadership. Some qualities of a good teacher include skills in communication, listening, collaboration, adaptability, empathy, and patience. Other characteristics of effective teacher include an engaging classroom, value in real-world learning, exchange of best practices, and lifelong learning of students. So, what makes a good teacher? First, a good teachers are strong communicators. Teachers who hone their communication skills are prepared to instruct and mentor students and trusted in their care. Teachers need clarity of thought to present the material. They must be able to break down complex into simpler parts and smaller steps to transmit to their students. Lastly, effective communication includes transforming boring into interesting and having a good presentation. Next is a good teacher listen well. Great communication doesn't stop when teacher is done talking. Listening well is one of the most important skills needed to be a teacher. Teachers that are skilled in listening and observing often pick up on what isn't being said.
such as any anxieties student may have, and can help them to boost their skills and confidence levels. If an educator can truly hear a student, they can learn how to reach them when they are. This will open the door for them to receive and learn the lesson that is being taught. The third one is great teachers focus on collaboration. Working in education means you're never truly alone. The key to success in this environment, Tang Wei said, is the ability to collaborate. You really need this to be able to field various skills in order to collaborate effectively. Featured collaboration helps students to combat isolation, whether it is through professional development settings, There to Share session where teachers share ways to improve students' achievement, the formation of learning partnership with other teachers. Collaboration also focus on student learning, manageable expectation for change, this creation of supportive environment that a teacher and take ideas and respect for privacy of kids.
Next, number 4, good teachers are adaptable. Effective teachers need to be able to work in a constantly evolving environment and adjust their teaching methods based on the age of their students, the available resources, changing curriculum, practices, and requirements. Learning how to adopt and adjust is one of the most helpful skills of a teacher. It's about keeping a finger in the pulse of who are my students over time, and all the trends, new research, and being able to continually improve. Number 5, good teachers are engaging. If you were to envision that teacher that you would want right now, even now, I want that teacher who is very engaging in front of her class. A good teacher will perform for his or her students to keep them going. It's not about just sitting back and just lecturing. It's about engaging with your students. Number 6, good teachers show empathy. Another key to engaging students and improving their learning is to treat each student as an individual by being empathetic and understanding to what may be going on in their lives. Because something may be easy for one student may not be easy for someone else. Remember, everyone learns differently, whether it would be faster or slower than the normal. So it's really important for the teacher to be observant, attentive, empathetic, and always have a positive mind.
Good teachers have patience is another professional qualities that teachers must have. It is says there that no matter what grade level you're teaching, your patience will be tested while working as an educator. We all know that as a teacher, we always need a long presence of patience. That as a teacher, we always need a long presence of patience. It is because in teaching, there are different kinds of learners. There are fast learners and slow learners. And we, as a future educator, we need patience to give examples, scenarios, for them to be able to understand what we are discussing or what was our lesson. Every teacher says that patience is a virtue in teaching. That's because we always need patience in giving an instructions, in giving knowledge to our students. Good teachers value real-world learning. Teachers who bring their students' learning into the real world are often some of the most engaging, but it's important for teachers to bring their own learning into the real world too. It is portraying on how we let our students learn with their own way, with our guidance, for them to really understand everything and anything that they needed to be learned, like in a real life situation. And this number 8 professional qualities is somehow connected to the next professional qualities that I need to discuss. Another professional quality that teacher must have is good teachers share best practice. With this, education is a hands-on field and often requires experimentation within the classroom to discover which methods of communicating with students work best. We as an educator, we always need past as a background in teaching for us to share them how life would be and how we overcome everything. As an educator, we need also to give them lessons about life for them to be learned as well as how we learn. For example, we all know that we are the first product of K-12 program. We have a lot of adjustments in there because we are the first generation that faced this kind of curriculum, and I must say that we have a lot of mistakes done, and we also learned as well. So we as a teacher or as an educator, we always needed to be researcher. A researcher because we need to discover another methods of teaching or another way of teaching that can help our students to be learned more and knowledgeable enough for their future. Last but not the least, professional qualities of a teacher is that good teachers are lifelong learners. One of the key skills needed to be good teacher is a dedication, continuous education, and a love of learning. In our past experiences with our teachers is connected on our path. It is because we can see how dedicated we are to pursue our dreams. But we, as a learners and as an educator, we don't need to stop on just what we know and what we learned. We need to explore to learn more, show that we are dedicated to what we are doing, and to emphasize our love in both learning and teaching.
So the next topic is professional growth timeline. First is leadership tools and skills for teachers leader. So one is exploring practices that provoke learning and seek to understand different perspective. So it states that the teacher process in which the student can have a benefits from the changes in their school. The teachers are professional and excellent communicator who have the ability to prioritize listening over speaking. Also, they can communicate in ways that are professional and truthful. Second one is classroom assessment strategies. So a classroom assessment is a systematic approach to formative evaluation. So it is an assessment that provides the student for them to be able to give feedback on what they learn from the lesson. The teacher discussed, and also it is not a graded activity.
To explain further, let's break down these three: standard-based grading, standard-based recording, and standard-based reporting. When we say standard-based, it refers to system of instruction or assessment that the institution expected to be done by the student as they progress. So, standard-based grading or recording is a concept of determining a student level of proficiency in a specific area. It is not holistic as the traditional system. This is often done through the use of rubric indicating level of achievement. For example, imagine the traditional system where 90 to 100 is equivalent to A. 80 to 89 is equivalent to B. On the other hand, standard-based grading usually uses scale from 1 to 4 and referring it as advanced, proficient, basic, and below basic. Do you get what I mean? Moving on, standard-based reporting is a method used to clearly communicate to parents about the student of his or her child. It focuses on detailed giving feedback about the children's progress toward achieving specific learning standards. While standard-based recording is a holistic method used by the institution that are directly elected to a student. Number 4 is curriculum cleanup. We all know that curriculum is a standard-based sequence of planned experience that used to support learning instructions. When we say cleanup, it is the innovation of the curriculum, a strategy that we use to improve the system or method we use in teaching the student. We don't become stagnant but we create progress. For example, we do revision on the process of teaching or explaining that we see which is fit.
Next is number 5, strategies for personalizing learning and differentiating instruction. Differentiation has made a resurgence in the past couple years, in acknowledgement that learning has always been personal, and therefore, all of our instructional practice must take into account if our students are to have optimal opportunity to learn. So first, let us discuss what is personalizing learning. So, in personalizing learning, it is an educational approach that aims to customize learning for each student's strength, needs, skills, and interests. So, dito sa personalizing learning, si students yung nag-e-execute kung paano niya, may pinagawa si teacher na activity. Pwede niyang i-present yung activity niya through essay, pwede rin namang kung ay role-playing. Kumbaga si students yung may hawak ng decision kung paano niya i-present yung activity. So next naman is yung differentiating instruction. So dito naman sa differentiating instruction, si teacher yung nag-e-execute ng activities na gagawin ni students. Kumbaga, nagbigay si teacher na activities. Dito sa activities na yun, mag-create ng essay si students, ganon. Kumbaga, pero nagbe-base pa rin si teacher kung ano yung para makakayahan ng students niya based kung paano niya ibibigay or papasagutan yung activity. So next is yung personal development timeline. So dito sa personal development timeline, dyan mo lang ipapaloob yung mga parang gusto mo ma-achieve. For example ay gusto mong ma-achieve in this year, so ilalagay mo yun doon kung ano mga gusto mong ma-achieve. Next naman is kunwari 10 years. Gusto mong ma-achieve kunwari ay makapag masteral ka, ganyan. So, dito sa timeline, ipapakita mo lang yung mga goals mo and then time kung kailan mo gustong gawin or kung kailan mo gustong ma-attain yung mga goals mo na yun.
So, good day everyone. So, I, Erica Joy and Rosalie will going to discuss the main duties and responsibilities of teachers and master teachers. So, I will be going to discuss some of the duties and responsibilities of the teachers. So here is the duties and responsibilities under the general supervision of the Teacher 1, Teacher 2, Teacher 3, including the substitute, faculty funded, and volunteer teachers. They facilitate learning in the elementary school through functional lesson plans, daily activities, and appropriate, adequate, and updated instructional materials, print or non-print. The facilitator uses lesson plan as their guide for teaching and daily lab activities as their basis for the improvement of the students, and instructional materials printed or not printed that can help them during the discussion. Number 2, monitors, assesses, and evaluates pupils' progress. So, the information about student learning can be assessed through both direct and indirect measures. Direct measures may include homework, quizzes, exams, reports, essays, research projects, case study analysis, and rubrics for oral and other performances. And also the example of indirect measures include course evaluation, student surveys, course enrollment information, and alumni surveys, and graduate school replacement rate. Undertakes activities to improve performance indicators. It is basically said that the teacher is obligated to make activities for the improvement of the students. Number 4, maintains updated pupil records. So, the teachers, not totally the teachers, but the schools always have a quarterly red letter day where the students can see or visualize the grades they get based on their performance. So for the next quarter, they will know which subject they will need to excel. Number 5, updates parents and pupils' progress regularly. So the same as what I have said a while ago, during Red Letter Day, the parents can also see if there's a progress on their children. Number 6, supervises curricular and co-curricular projects and activities. Simple words, it can be said activities that are undertaken inside the classroom, in the laboratory, workshop, or in library are called curricular activities. So, the major aims of guidance counseling services is to encourage students' academic, social, emotional, and personal development. So, to reach this aim, guidance counseling services help students get to know themselves better and find effective solutions to their daily problems. So, those are just few of the duties and responsibilities of the teachers. And now, Erica Joy will continue to discuss the responsibilities of the teachers and master teachers.
Hello everyone, I am Ejoy and today we will discuss the item number 8 up to 13 of the duties and responsibilities of a teacher under general supervision. So let's start. The item number 8 is to conduct an action research. Action research is done by teachers because of the following reasons. Number 1 is to help teachers develop new knowledge directly related to their classroom. Number 2, it is for them to promote reflective teaching and thinking. Number 3, it is for them to expand their pedagogical knowledge or repertoire. And number 4 is to put teachers in charge of their craft, which is teaching. And number 5 is to reinforce the link between practice and student achievement. The number 9 duties and responsibilities of a teacher is to maintain the cleanliness, orderliness, safety, and upkeep in the classroom. So have you ever asked yourself or even asked your classmates, what is the essence of cleaning? I know that we all experience cleaning the room when we are about to go outside. And what do you think is the reason why the teachers need to decorate the classroom? The number 9 is their answer because it is one of their duties and responsibilities as a teacher. So, we should not blame our teachers if they are conservative about the trashes under our chairs and our tables, the arrangement of our chairs, our noisiness, even the smallest thing that the teacher noticed inside our classroom. The number 10 duties and responsibilities of a teacher is to participate in staff development activities and utilizes KSA gained from seminars, trainings, and scholarships. Let us take a look with this scenario. Have you ever experienced that your teacher wasn't able to teach because she is absent? The reason for this is it is one of their duties and responsibilities to attend seminars and trainings as well as scholarships for them to gain the KSA. By the way, the KSA means the knowledge, skills, and abilities. This KSA is a common tool which explains the candidate's qualities as they relate to an open role and determine if they are a good fit in teaching. In order to gain the KSA, the teacher needs to participate in all of the seminars, trainings, and scholarships. The other duties and responsibilities of a teacher is to maintain harmonious relationships with fellow teachers and other school personnel as well as the parents and other stakeholders. Why do you think it is necessary for a teacher to maintain this harmonious relationship? It is important for teachers to maintain good relationships or harmonious relationship with his or her peers because it is one of his or her duties and responsibilities as a teacher. And as a future teacher, how can we do that? Number 1 tip is to have trust. We should have trust in our school, the teachers, the community, and other people who constitutes the educational organization. Number 2 is to think rational or think positive. We have to effectively collaborate with them and communicate with them. Number 3 is to share the vision. The vision that you believe must be the vision of your school. You should all share the same beliefs, values, and cultural linkages for the school to achieve the greater heights. Having a harmonious relationship builds a positive culture in school and lead to imparting better education. The number 12 duties and responsibilities of a teacher is to support activities of non-governmental and governmental organizations. Why do you think it is important for the teachers to support all of those organizations? We all know that the school is a part of the community. That is why support is essential for all of those organizations, whether it is governmental or non-governmental. Another duties and responsibilities of a teacher is DOS related work. What does it mean? As we often type in our Google, what is the function of teachers? We often conclude on the same result, which is to help students learn by imparting knowledge to them and by setting up a situation which students can and will learn effectively. That's right, it is one of the duties and responsibilities of a teacher. But we should also take note that teachers fill a complex set of roles. If inside the classroom, they can be a mediator of learning, a disciplinarian, a parent substitutes, confidant to students, and judge of the achievement. Teachers are also public servant, a community leader, and also most importantly, an agent of social change. The next topic that we will discuss are the duties and responsibilities of a teacher, particularly Master Teacher 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what are those duties and responsibilities? Number 1 is to assume leadership in the environment of instructional programs and preparation of instructional materials as in the following. If you are a Master Teacher 1, you have to be a leader in the environment of instructional programs and preparing instructional materials for at least 2 grade levels. Number 2, for at least 3 grade levels, and Master Teacher 3 is in all grade levels.
So, the number one means you have to be the leader, or you have to guide the other teachers in preparation for the instructional materials, as well the instructional programs that the school will be implemented.
Good morning, I will be your last reporter for today. For my part, I will discuss the continuation of the duties and responsibilities of Master Teacher 1, 2, 3, and 4. Ang naunang part, for number 1 ay na-discuss na ni Ejoy. So, number 2 na tayo mag-start. Number 2, conducts instructional training programs in the school, district, and division. Para naman dito, ang mga master teacher parang sila ang organizer sa isang event. Sila ang nagsasagawa ng mga programs na maaring kinakabilangan yung mga teachers. Tapos, sila yung nag-a-assist sa kanila. Involved sila sa program. Number 3, provides professional assistance to teacher like coaching and mentoring. Diba tayo, pag tayo nag-practice teaching, ang mga teacher tinutulungan din tayo, mine-mentor tayo para alam natin ang gagawin. So, ang mga master teacher, nagme-mentor din sila ng mga teachers na. Tinutulungan nila sa mga bagay na hindi rin nila alam para mas mapuputi rin ang gawain. Gaya nga ng sabi ko, ang mga master teacher, sila yung nag-guide sa ating mga teacher. Tinutulungan nila kung may mga nahihirapan ng teacher, mayroong mga katanungan kasi ang master teacher, di ba, mas ahead sila sa teacher. So, mas may alam sila sa mga bagay-bagay at maaring napagdaanan nila yung mga ginagawa ngayon ng mga teacher. So, sila yung mga guide, mentor, coach. Number 4, develops and or implements innovative functional teaching approaches and strategies every school year as follows. For Master Teacher 1 and 2, at least 1. Master Teacher 3 and 4, at least 2. So dito, sinasabi na sila yung mga nagde-develop nga, gumagawa ng mga bagong paraan or estratehiya para sa pagtuturo sa mga bata. Kasi 'di ba, ang mga bata nagsasawa kapag paulit-ulit na yung mga ginagamit mong technique sa pagtuturo. So, sa master teacher pala, responsibilidad nila or duty nila na makapag-isip ng mga bagong paraan kung paano ba mas maiengganyo ang bata na makinig at paano mas magiging bago sa paningin ng bata ang pagtuturo ng isang bagay or subject. Syempre, di ba, nakapag-isip na nga sila yung mga master teacher. Dapat, syempre, magagamit nga ito sa school. Hindi naman pwedeng, siguro, tinetest muna ito bago mapayagan na magamit sa school yung paraan na yon. Kasi minsan, baka naisip natin, baka hindi pala okay or may kailangang baguhin. Ganon. Number 5, master teacher serves as a demonstration teacher and or consultant. So, pagkakaintindi ko dito, di ba, halimbawa, nung high school tayo, na-experience naman natin na yung mga teacher na natin, parang nagtuturo sila na may mga teachers sa likod na nakikinig, nag-o-observe. So, siguro sila is yung mga master teacher nga. Kasi nung panahon nung high school ako, hindi ko pa naman alam yun na master teacher sila. So ngayon, ganun yung nasa isip ko. Sila yung mga consultant pala. Nung pagkatapos ni teacher na demo teaching, na obserbahan niya, siguro siya yung magsasabi ng mga dapat baguhin, kung ano yung naging performance nila, kung magaling ba, excellent, ganun. It's conducts an action research. So dito, nagre-research din pa rin pala kahit master teacher na. May pinag-aaralan pa rin pala. So, siguro, depende to sa topic na nais ng master teacher. Number 7, leads analysis and utilization of test results. So, dito sa number 7, siguro dito yung after ng exam, di ba may item analysis. Tapos sa item analysis, nalalaman ko rin yung may mga matataas na nakuha dito sa tanong na to at dito sa hindi. So, di ba, naituro sa atin ito na parang tinetest nila yung tanong kung okay ba siya sa estudyante, kung maraming nakakaintindi or Hindi. Parang ganito yung pagkakaintindi ko. Parang tinetest nila yung resulta nung naging exam natin. Siguro yung after item analysis ng teacher, master teacher na yung nagha-handle ng pag-evaluate ng mga results. So, number 8 last is the task-related work. To sum up, the master teacher is a highly skilled professional educator who shares significant leadership responsibilities and authorities with the school administrative team. Primary responsibility is to work with principal to analyze student data and create and institute an academic achievement plan for the building. Master teachers lead cluster groups and provide demonstration lesson, coaching, and team teaching to fellow teachers. Master teachers collaborate to develop and determine the adoption and of learning resources and research-based strategies to increase student performance.
Before our discussion ends, we will leave you a quotation by Brad Henry. A good teacher can inspire hope, ignite the imagination, and instill a love of learning. Meaning to say that success is not a good teacher. Failure makes you humble. Teaching is a very noble profession that shapes the character and future of an individual. And that's all. Thank you for listening.